You always go to Walibi Park?
Oh yeah,
Really?
Always.
Yeah.
You're the kind of types that feel like going in a roller coaster before or after the show?
Both.
Both. Why not? I'd like to be on a roller coaster during the show.
Hi Josh and Tom, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's a little bit weird to be back in real life, after pandemic, COVID things and everything's opening up again. How are you feeling here in Amsterdam? It's wonderful, lovely day today.
It's exciting. Obviously, Amsterdam's a beautiful city. It's a place that we've come to a lot before and had some amazing experiences with the Dutch people. So can't wait to get going again. It's a great venue. It's going to be big. It's going to be full. Very excited.
Because you're playing the AFAS live here in Amsterdam tonight.
Sure.
You were going to do 3 Paradiso shows, but we've upgraded. You guys are upgraded to this big, beautiful venue.
Which is interesting.
Yeah,
for
explain
sure.
it.
I mean, well, Paradiso is an incredible venue, isn't it? And it's a great venue to play. It's got a real soul. But obviously, our production's got quite big, and the Paradiso stage is quite skinny.
I think when you see the show tonight, you'll understand why we're in this venue.
Yeah.
Can you reveal a little bit about that production?
It's
big.
Yeah. It's fun and it's big and it's it looks cool, but I don't think we would have been able to fit it on the Paradiso, and it's a shame, but we're here and it's going to be great. Yeah. We're inspired by a lot of different shows, obviously like Earth, Wind and Fire and the big kind of Soul Train bands and I suppose kind of Justice, obviously Gorillaz and Daft Punk are huge inspirations on what we do. So it's a kind of combination of those kind of old school sort of soul bands which had an amazing amount of people playing everything, and but it's also kind of taking it a little bit more forward and having a modern twist on it for sure.
Cool. Sounds exciting.
We're trying.
And I'm so curious because I have to do a radio show tonight, so I can see the shows. I'm like, explain a little bit. Yeah, and of course the Lowlands show. Going to talk about that later. But I saw a photo on your Instagram of the, I don't know if I say it correctly, like Viven Festival in
Sure,
Mexico.
Yeah.
But the crowd was huge. How was that show?
Mexico is always amazing for us.
Yeah.
It's a great place. The people there are amazing, and our Mexican fans are like some of our best fans in the world.
Is it for you like weird to be on the stage again for such a huge crowd? Because of course we've been in our houses with lockdown and everything, and then suddenly maybe the shows that you play are insanely big.
I think it took a little bit of time to get back into it, but ultimately that feeling that you get from being in front of a crowd is so wonderful, and that sharing of an experience and of that energy, it just takes over. And so I think any sort of like reservations or fears or anxiety was like dissipated very quickly.
We've got the show on Lowlands coming up for the 3rd time. Jungle is gonna be there. You were there in 2014, 2019.
We go because of the theme park, obviously, next door, and the artists get to go in and go on the roller coasters. So for us, we turn up in the bus, straight to the theme park, a couple of roller coasters. It's normally shut as well, so like they let a few people in. So.
Because I was about like, do you got any good memories about Lowlands? But you always go to Walibi Park?
Oh yeah,
really?
Always.
Yeah. But we don't endorse the park. Obviously, we're not paid enough for that. But
no spawn. But you're the kind of types that feel like going in a roller coaster before or after the show?
Both.
Why not? I'd like to be on a roller coaster during the show. That'd be quite fun.
The show is one big roller coaster. I was wondering because 2013 was, correct me if I'm wrong, like the first year you played a big festival summer like South by Southwest, Glastonbury, Pukkelpop, Lowlands. What do you remember from that summer? Like, what was it like as a starting band to be playing all those shows?
I mean, it was intense. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down, and you're kind of doing it all yourself. There's no crew. There's nobody really supporting you. It's coming from you. So we were, picking all the equipment, doing all that, but the band is slowly getting bigger and bigger. So the pressure's getting like, and you're plugging all your stuff in, Glastonbury.
I think ultimately that was an amazing time because it was so new and fresh.
It was
and
pure.
I don't think you'll never get that back really. So yeah, it was difficult and it was like crazy. But I think looking back on it in the future and when we're older, that will feel like the most like pure moment that we had really.
Do you got any advice that you would give yourselves if you could go like back in time, 2014, Tom and Josh?
Relax.
Yeah, definitely relax.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
Enjoy it.
It's just not that deep.
Yeah.
I think you know, when you're younger and you're, trying to forge a career, everything's very important. I think, as you grow older, you realise that it's not about the money, it's not about all the things you have, it's really about the experiences and how much fun you have then in those experiences, So I think we try and move forward and, take every day as it comes and use the experiences, and to hold on to them.
But I think if this video is being published, the new songs of you have been released. Good Times and Problemz, and you've played them live in Madrid this week already?
But tonight is going to be the first time we play them live. And every night until they're released is the first time. It's our thing. We go.
But this is the Dutch preview. This is the Dutch premiere of both those songs. Yeah.
Is there still something like? Does it feel like nerve-wracking to premiere new songs, or is it like seeing how the crowd responds?
Not when the songs are good. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous, but I feel like we feel these songs are amazing, and I think they really are, and they're very infectious and they feel good. And when you play songs, that aren't so good, people are like,
you feel it,
cool.
Yeah.
But like when it's good, you just watch people hear it for the first time, and they're like, whoa, and like that Problemz is like that. It's got that thing when the bass comes in, everyone's just like, it's the first time they hear it, but they love it, and I think that's a really good sign.
I can imagine as a band, that's great that you have that the first reaction, that you're waiting for the people to get the bass kicked in and all those.
For sure,
it's really exciting. I guess we haven't really had that feeling since 2014 when we were like playing songs that hadn't been released from the first album, and it's like it's energetic. It feels fun. It's exciting. It's a bit of a novelty for us, really.
Cool. Really excited. And I feel like Good Times has this major 70s influence.
1790.
1750.
With the vocals, the
It's
flutes,
like
and the bongos. Can you talk a bit about the process of that song?
The process, I suppose the process was about trying to do it as quickly as possible and think as little as possible and just feel as much as possible. That's literally it. We just tried to do it really quickly. And I think the quicker you make art, the better it tends to be, because it lacks that overthinking. We all make stuff. And sometimes we're shocked at like how easy it could be, or what you can achieve when you switch off and just do it, and then you're like, oh, it should be harder. The process should be. I should be here for all week, And like the fact is, you can write a song in like 3 minutes, as long as it takes to vocalize it.
Yeah. And what's quick in terms of making music for Jungle? What's a quick song?
That was quick. So we did these 2 songs in about like 2 days each. We made these songs in like two days,
and
really.
how we feel and how positive and assertive and confident we are in ourselves at that point in time gets reflected in the art. So if we've had a good weekend and then you come in on Monday and you feel good and you feel confident, then like your decisions aren't doubted. You don't want to get through the process and be like, are we sure? And you start going to this like yes, no process. It just needs to be like yes. And it has a knock-on effect, that positivity.
And can you reveal a bit, like, are these songs the beginning of a new album?
I don't think we're thinking about it like that, and that's part of the process now. Is for a long time we've been thinking about albums, and the thing that does is that we'd make these songs, Good Times and Problemz, and they would be great, and then we put them on the hard drive for a year, and we grow and we wait and we think, because we have a chance to. I think it's like make and once it's out, we can't change it, And if we were making an album, we would have made those first 2 tracks, and then they would go in the pile, and we tried to make the rest of it. And as I said, we change, and then our opinions of what that is change, and you can go in and it's like a painting, a little bit brown. Maybe today I'll put a little bit of this on. All of a sudden,
but then you end up ruining it, essentially.
Ruin the moment,
That's brilliant. Yeah. Amen.
Hope so.
Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the show tonight. Looking forward to see you again at the Lowlands Festival. Thank you. Or in the roller coaster at the Wallaby Park.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Maybe we do the next interview
on the roller coaster.
That would be like my biggest fear. Oh my God. Ugh.
Vera On Track.
Met Vera Siemons.